Hey everybody, it's Andy Timmons and welcome back to my Melodic Muse course for Guitar World magazine. And today we're gonna do a tune off my newest record called Electric Truth, and the song is called When Words Fail. And the song title and the album title actually kind of tie in together, because my feeling about instrumental music in general is that we're not constricted to the spoken and written language. You know, it's great to be a lyricist, which can be abstract or very specific, but I love playing instrumental music because I really feel that the individual note can go much deeper and the listener can interpret what that music means to them, though I might have a specific meaning behind the composition and what I'm feeling in the moment. And so when words fail, the title kind of speaks for itself in that words very often fail. They can be misinterpreted or misunderstood in whatever way. And so the music to me, and playing my guitar and writing instrumental music, has always been a vehicle to try to express myself in ways that I don't think I'm really capable of verbally or lyrically. You know, I really feel like I can dig deeper into whatever feelings I'm having, sad, happy, up, down, whatever it might be. I really think we can go a lot deeper once we really make that connection with the instrument. And to that degree, it's interesting that as guitar players, you know, the more prolific we get with our chops and everything, we do have a tendency to play more than less. And so this song in specific might be a good example and a good study in where simplicity can really actually go quite a bit deeper, where I'm not playing a lot of notes. And when it gets to the chorus, I don't even play anything. I actually let the music go by for a few bars before I say anything. Therefore, when I do play something, it has even more weight because I left space. I let there be kind of they might call it a pregnant pause, just to kind of give emphasis to that next phrase. So I'd love to kind of, you know, dig deep into this, analyze the chords, those simple notes, though they may appear simple scalarly and vocabulary-wise. It's really about the expression, how each note sounds, how each note is really, you know, articulated. So I hope you'll enjoy that part of this lesson, and I hope you'll go along the journey with me. Look at the chords for When Words Fail. It's pretty much straight ahead. It's all in A major, in 6/8. So 1, 2, 3. A major, F sharp minor, D major, B minor. Then it goes back to A, but this time to C sharp minor, F sharp minor, to D. So all those chords are right in all the chords of A major except the old G sharp half diminished, but maybe I'll use that later, I don't know. So very kind of inside, a very easy platform theoretically to come up with some good melodies, but perhaps deceptively simple and not always easiest for guitar players to easily play melodies in a major key, where so much of our early vocabulary kind of stems from minor, the more bluesy kind of stuff. But major, it's also kind of seemingly referred to as kind of a happy sound major, but this is a decidedly kind of a mournful, sad, more you know, thoughtful kind of major, however you might say that. So let's look at the notes now. So the melody in this verse is, like I say, it's all based in A major, but it's not necessarily position based for me. If you know me, you know I'm very much a horizontal kind of person, and I'll go quite a bit up one string or two strings a lot. So this starts off with, so I'm utilizing on the D string, going from the A on the 7th fret, B, C sharp. Then I hit the low A, let that ring, and then fret the E note on that, whatever it is, the 9th fret of the G string. Go from the E, F sharp down to C sharp. And that A might still be ringing while the F sharp changes in the keyboards and the bass. So that's a nice harmony there, because that low A, the open A, becomes the third of that F sharp minor chord. Okay, now I'm using a similar technique now that we've gone from the A to the F sharp. The D, I climb on the G string from the C sharp, E to the F sharp, which is the third of that D major chord, and then also now incorporate the low D string to kind of bolster the harmony, right? So on the A, then on the D, and that's over the B. I always love if I can get that ninth on almost any minor chord. I'm gonna like to feature that, how that resolves so nicely to the third of that B minor chord, that C sharp to D. So from the note C sharp on the D, I'm not playing the B, I'm just giving you that for reference. So the melody, and I'm sliding that. That's another type of expression that I hope you'll pay attention to, not just the frets and the string, but also how I'm either articulating the note with the picking or the way I'm sliding. Within that first phrase, you'll hear that E come out a bit more. So there's already a shape to the melody, right? And if it's such a simple, this is just right out of A major, it's such a simple melody, but by giving it, those notes different values, and I'm not necessarily conscious of it, but when I'm coming up with these melodies, it's like I'm wanting to sing it. It's like I'm wanting to speak it. And as I'm speaking to you now, there's some phrases that are going to be more accented than others, or accented than others, and to get a point across, and to hopefully give it some more depth and some more meaning. So please pay attention to that kind of detail there. When I play that C sharp, when the B minor is quarter sounding, I dig into that C sharp quite a bit, and then everything else is a slide. If I hit it right, there's a bit of upper harmonic content. I pick up underneath it. So I'm always experimenting with how to articulate the note, whether I'm going to pick up underneath it. Like later on, you'll hear, especially on the treble strings, when I'm on the E and the B, instead of picking down, I'll pick up underneath it. And a lot of times I'll get some of that upper harmonic to come out. So the first phrase one more time. Then repeating. Now we're going up that A major. So once I rise to the ABC, I'm just playing the triad. Just imagine that A major triad on top, like a cowboy chord D major, but right there at the 9th fret. And that note there, that's going to happen over that C sharp minor. So that's instead of going down to F sharp minor, I'm going up to C sharp minor. You hear that upper harmonic that comes out because I'm using the very, the flat edge of the pick, and I'm picking up underneath it for that harmonic. And then that next chord, so it's an F sharp minor, and all I'm playing is a dyad. It's a two-note C sharp and A, so that's the 5th and the 3rd of that F sharp minor. And then the next chord is D major, and I just play. So it's kind of a question and answer thing. And the second time, and then it's very simple. It's question answer also. I'm just stating a simple two-note phrase. Then the next statement is even yet another variation of the very simple. So instead of just playing for the third phrase, instead of repeating the first phrase, I extend it. Okay, does that make sense? I'm basically adding a bit of the A major pentatonic, but all on the G string. And I'm getting that from somewhere. Andy Aladort, what am I thinking of? I'm thinking, da, 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 da. It might be a George Harrison lick from somewhere, somehow. It's very George Harrison to me. And then back to the D. And that's the same information. But then, and now this time, instead of, changing from the, I vary that repeated phrase by going up. Same A major arpeggio, but then the top note is, it really gives an emotional tug for me. That's just going, rising to the E, the higher E, for the third of that C sharp minor chord. And that to me is kind of the emotional high point of that whole verse. Just because not only am I going to a higher pitch, but just the weight of it, because of how everything that's happened before is leading to that note. As I'm thinking about it, as I'm trying to explain it to you, I realize that that's kind of the pinnacle of that whole phrase. So I hit this peak, and then everything's just kind of falling down after it, but all again in the key of A major. And then a kind of an F sharp minor over that, and then over the D major, I utilize a bit of the high E string. Little rub there. I've got a D natural note with the E natural ringing underneath it. That would have gone to to E. D, E. And then the chorus actually is, it starts on an F sharp minor. So I'm resolving all that down to that C sharp. But again, listen to all that, all the detail and dynamic in that. Again, as notes, it's not that special, but it's really how they're presented. Now here, I'm really giving an emphatic, I'm hammering from that A to B with the high E string. And then I'm not even articulating those last two notes because I'm wanting the whole thing to just kind of quiet down. Because the next section, the chorus, actually starts much quieter. I'm actually, while I'm playing that last note, I'm actually turning the volume down. So, and that just sustains over the next two chords. So as I'm writing any kind of tune, or if I'm improvising, improvised music is really the same as songwriting. It's just improvised music is a minute's music in a minute's time, and a song to write might take you a year. Who knows? But the same intention comes with both soloing and improvising and songwriting. In that, whatever chord is going on, whatever melodic note that I've arrived at, there's clues there, and from my experience, what I want to hear next. And that's just from my taste and my experience and what I've loved, and the music that I've learned throughout my life, and things that have moved me. And I talk about that as the Auralect in my Melodic Muse course that I've done for True Fire that you can check out, where I talk about this quite in depth. And there wasn't really a word for what I was thinking of. It's kind of the intellect of the ear, so I coined the term Auralect, in that, because of, again, the music that I've loved, what I've learned, if I hear that D over that A major, I know there's a couple notes that immediately come to mind after that, just in my Auralect, that what my ear wants to hear, so to speak. And that may be different for everybody. But eventually, the goal for me is still to get to the point where I don't have to intellectually analyze the music. I can, and it's helpful for me to be able to articulate that when I'm explaining some of these note choices and things, but those necessarily wouldn't have been what was going through my ear or my mind while I was writing it. It was very much more an instinctual thing where, yes, I know I'm in this key and I know what notes are possible, but that all that gets you is playing a scale over a chord, right? So, but it's really more about, you know, what do you want to hear? And I think as a songwriter specifically, I think we're all just trying to write the song we want to hear. And it's usually somehow inspired, or at least the bar has been set. For me, it's Brian Wilson, Lennon, McCartney, and Chopin, and every single song that I've loved since I was a little kid. It's all in there somewhere. It's all bouncing around. There's a library that we all have, our musical memory. And it's just let that steer you. Yeah, the dangerous plagiarism, of course. Ask George Harrison next time you see him, wherever that may be. The famous "My Sweet Lord" lawsuit I'm referencing. But no, we're not talking about wanting to steal specific things from our favorite songs, but it's more of just that information and that what I call the RLect of if this note, then I wanna go this direction. And of course, it's all spoken through then. The instrument, the delivery system, as it were, is the guitar for us. You know, we could sing these notes, and that might be good for certain people that sing well. I sing kind of medium, so I really prefer to express myself with the guitar. And through that, there will be certainly guitar isms that will influence some of the note choice. But at the core, for me, it's the pop ear. It's that melodic ear that wants the sweet notes. You know, and if I need angry and dirt, I've got that at my disposal as well. But certainly, as we get into the chorus in the next lesson, you'll hear a bit more guitaristic type thing. But the moment had been set up, and it was appropriate, and it felt cool to have that. So, what a great couple of worlds to straddle and try to put together. In that, we're really speaking through our instrument, and get those melodies under your fingers. But then also, don't deny the fact that you're a guitar player, and we're going to add vibrato, and we're going to slide a certain way, and that adds to the emotion, and that's why I feel like the guitar is just kind of scratching the surface of what's possible. You know, Jeff Beck is already he's at a very high level, and we're all following, right? We're all trying to get to that point. So enjoy that journey, knowing that you never really get there, but that's the fun of it, man. We just got to keep learning and keep growing.